Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. It's OP's wedding, so she can wear what she wants. If she wants to wear a friggin' potato sack, she's entitled to wear a friggin' potato sack. Leave it alone, mother-in-law. But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with the turned-on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Here we go. Gave the money back to my mother-in-law in front of everyone, embarrassing her. Me, 28-year-old female, and my fiancé, 27-year-old male, are getting married in March. I come from an upper-middle-class family, and my fiancé is lower-middle-class. This is a delicate matter for his family. Despite me being able to pay all the costs of the wedding, my parents gave the equivalent of 70% of the value of the wedding as a gift, which would be around $30,000, fictitious value. And fortunately, my parents did not use this gift as a form of want to control everything at the party. When my fiancé's parents learned that my parents had given this gift, my fiancé and I didn't mention it. My sister-in-law snitched on them. They decided to give their gift as well and gave $3,000, an amount for which I was very grateful to have received. And I deeply regret doing this, especially for my mother-in-law. I don't plan on having a traditional wedding party. My dress won't be white, lilac. There'll be no religious ceremony, and it'll be a party for only 30 guests, and my fiancé agrees and supports this. This bothers my mother-in-law a lot, especially the dress not being white. Over time, she gave up on imposing the idea of a big party and not having a religious ceremony, but the dress is something she annoys me too much, and it continues even though I snapped on her or my fiancé tells her to stop. Because of that, we're in LC with her. Yesterday, it was my sister-in-law's birthday, and I went with my husband. Obviously, my mother-in-law was there. Not even 5 minutes after I stepped into the party, she started again with the idea of me having to wear white because it's an important tradition, and it got to the point where she was talking to her sisters about how this new generation doesn't respect traditions and that she was sorry and afraid of these new parties. I had my limit when she spoke loud and clear that in her time, the bride and groom respected their parents' opinions, and more so if they helped pay for the wedding. I was very angry and said, "Enough! I can't take it. It's not worth listening to other people's crap for this money." I had this money in my pocket and was going to deposit that same amount in the bank later, but I gave up and gave it to her in front of everyone. And I added that now she won't say anything because she's not helping. This generated a confusion of tremendous proportions. My fiancé's entire family fighting on me, saying that I humiliated her in front of everyone and demeaned the amount they gave. Well, I had to leave early so it wouldn't get any worse. My fiancé understands why I did it, but said it wasn't my best moment, and I could have done it in private and not in front of everyone. And our second story. Can't you just deliver it to me personally? I work in a second-hand retail store and have recently been moved to the online department. This basically means I take pictures of items that I think will have a better chance of selling online, upload it to eBay, then package, wrap, and send off anything paid for. Now, as a lot of you may know, different delivery companies charge different fees, and if you live outside a certain area, you, as a buyer, will have to pay extra for delivery. Since starting the role of online person, I've had a few customers cancel their orders because we charge a set delivery price on site, but if they live too far away, I have to send them a message telling them they'll be charged extra based on their postcode. This story's about one of those people. And if I was allowed to record any work conversations, I would put it all over the internet. This woman purchased a little DAB radio through our eBay shop. It wasn't expensive or big, which is why I got a sense of dread when I looked at her postcode on the delivery. She lived on a little island called Isle of Scilly. It's technically part of England, so the postal service we use would issue delivery there, but I didn't have much hope for the sale because she would have to pay more than double what she'd paid for the item just to have it shipped to her. So I send off her invoice with the added delivery total and the explanation for why her delivery charge would be so high. I expected to receive an email asking to cancel her order, as I had with quite a few others since I first started this online gig. But that's not what happened. No. A few hours later, the store gets a phone call. It's not my job to answer calls anymore, so I pay it no mind. To my surprise, though, a colleague of mine comes to my station with the phone saying it was for the eBay department. It's very rare that I get a phone call since, if I'm already online, most people would just talk to me online. A sad, lonely existence made bearable by the hilarious shenanigans of my coworkers. So I take the call, and the convo goes like this. Me. Good afternoon, this is Kindly Offer Online Department speaking. How can I help? A woman answers. Hello. I recently purchased something on your eBay, and it said the delivery would be £7. But I got an email a little while ago, and it says I'm now being charged an extra $25. Me in best professional tone. Oh, can I ask what your purchase was, ma'am, so I can see where we be shipping it to? Her. I ordered a little blue DAB radio. Oh, the dots connected. My fingers froze midway over keyboard. I knew who she was. Me. Ah, yes, you live in the Isles of Scilly, is that correct? Her. Yes, that's correct. Me, still best professional voice. My apologies, ma'am, but you were charged an extra fee because of the cost of delivery, I'm afraid. I'm more than happy to cancel your order if the delivery's too much, but that's what our delivery company charges us, so I'm afraid that's a charge we have to pass on. If you wish to cancel, I'd be happy to issue a full refund. I'm sure that's more or less exactly what I said. I do try to sound as sympathetic as possible in these types of situations, but I was basically copying what I would usually type online. I expected her to tell me to cancel, and I would have been more than willing to do so because who really wants to pay that much for shipping something cheap that can fit into your purse? But then she asks me, well, can't you just deliver it personally if the shipping company charges that much? Me, misunderstanding her thoughts, I'm sorry, ma'am, but our store doesn't do personal deliveries. Her, no, not your store, you. Can't you just deliver it, like, after work or something? You ever have one of those moments where your brain refuses to accept that your ears are doing their job correctly, and you give your head a little shake to reprimand them before demanding they do what God intended and pass along the correct message? This was that moment for me. Me. I'm sorry, ma'am, I don't quite understand what you mean. I asked, desperate to cling to my facade of full-time adult and not laugh like a loon down the phone at this lady. Her, slightly annoyed, are you the head of the eBay department? Because I asked the man who answered the phone to hand me over to the head of eBay. Me, a little offended, but determined to prove my new head of online department status, which was technically true, but the department was just me, sitting in a little nook at the back of the shop. I don't even have an office, but I'm in charge of online orders. Yes, ma'am, I'm the head of the eBay department. Her, still irritated. Well then, can't you just deliver it to me yourself? I mean, you get the sale, and you can keep the extra £7 I paid for delivery. I just don't see why I'd have to pay that much. Yeah, me either. I don't know why you'd have to pay so much for delivery since you only live on a fricking island. I genuinely don't know what to think. I was stuck halfway between anger and hysteria. A coworker had come out back, and he was just staring at me as I was no doubt red-faced and holding back tears. Me. Ma'am, you do live on the Isles of Scilly, correct? Her. Yes, I already told you that. Me. Ma'am, we're based in London. Her. So? Me. London's on a different island. A silence falls over the phone, and I could practically hear the mortification on the other end. My coworker is now gesturing to the phone, demanding to know what's being said without actually making noise. I shoo him away while stifling laughter as the lady finally comes back to the phone in a much more polite and humble tone. Oh. Can you just cancel my order then? I really don't want to pay that much. Me. Yes, ma'am. I'll take care of that right away. It may take a few days for the refund to go through, but I'll take care of it as soon as possible. A timid, thank you, bye, came through the other end before the familiar white noise of a disconnected phone call followed. I then proceeded to explain the whole thing to my colleagues, and we both have a good laugh. I know the lady probably just didn't double-check where we were stationed, even though it does say both on our company page and in the product description section of the eBay page, along with what postcodes will be charged extra. But I just can't help but think, what kind of person expects someone to go out of their way to deliver a package to their home if it's not part of their job? Also, who doesn't know where London is? I guess laughing at the woman was a little mean, but a picture of myself in a little rowboat just wading through the sea kept popping up in my head, and I couldn't help but find the whole ordeal hilarious. And now I've made sure to enlarge the print at the bottom of all eBay ads about what our fees are and where we can and cannot deliver to. How about you can save the £7 if you want to come by the office and pick it up yourself? And our last story. Stolen car found by police, called wrong number, and sold it in auction. My roommate had her car stolen overnight last year in August when she left in a Red Lobster parking lot. She called all towing companies and gave the police the VIN to check for and filed a stolen vehicle police report. She's been calling her investigator every few weeks to check on the case, and to be frank, he seems incompetent as hell. A few times they've claimed they don't have the record of the stolen car on file, and then they magically find it next time. A few weeks ago, she began getting toll charges from her car. When she called the police about it, they once again said they didn't have anything on record about a stolen car. Upon hearing again today, she was informed that they had indeed found her car in August of last year and had attempted to contact her. However, the number that they had on file was the Red Lobster phone number. They repeatedly called Red Lobster to report the car, even though she was still checking in every few weeks. They claimed they sent letters in the mail. There were no letters. They even claimed to send an investigator to the address, but we never talked to anyone. So they sold her car in an auction. My roommate doesn't have a lot of money and feels like the police legally stole and sold her car. She's pretty discouraged about the whole legal system from this incident. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.